Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Boom, here I am. Assembly today, I'm just going to get out of the way a bit because I'm in the way, is about respect and about respecting our surroundings and what we can do as individuals to make sure that those surroundings are well looked after and lovely. Interestingly, we've had a group of, I know a group of children have taken some control over the wooden teepee that we have in the conservation area. And they've been sweeping it up and making it tidy and doing all those sorts of things. And what they're doing is they're showing a respect. They're showing that they care about the local environment, because really respect is about caring. It's about saying that actually, I care about you, I respect you, and I care what you think. I care about your opinion. So, the book I'd like to share with you today is this one. It's called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. And this is a series of books written by the amazing Andrea Beattie, and they're illustrated by David Roberts. I'm a massive fan of David Roberts. He's done some brilliant books. He's illustrated for Julia Donaldson. So he did a book called Tyrannosaurus Drip, which is a great book. But he's also illustrated other books as well. So he's and he wrote one as well. There's one about suffragettes, which is fantastic. A historical book, but illustrated in David Roberts' amazing style. If you go into the library, I know that we have a copy of the suffragette book in there. So he's written a couple of books, though. He wrote, these two together have illustrated and written a couple of books. Iggy Peck, architect, is one of them. Rosie Revere, engineer, another one. Ada Twist, scientist. And we're reading today Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. When they say Prez, it's short for president, and you can see that on the cover. Let me get my pointer. Here it is. You can see it here. Sofia for president someday. Vote Sofia. And here is Sofia. Right, let's get into this story. City Hall. City Hall is a place where decisions are made about how the city is run. We've got one. It's on College Green in Bristol. Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. Sofia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned one. And there you are. You can see her watering a plant. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek, who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather were stuck at home. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighbourhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sofia liked better. That's interesting. So she not only is she's showing respect to her environment and showing respect to the people that she lives near, but there's also a bit of excellence creeping in here. She wants to do better than good, which is excellence, isn't it? Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass. Making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. Oh no, a squirrel! With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. It's quite hard to read that, so it goes all around here like this. So a very creative way of doing the writing. I wonder why the writer chose to put the writing around the page like that. I think it's because it's showing the chase. I think that's why they chose to do it. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk from the local landfill. They reached the tip-top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. And a landfill site is where we put our rubbish. So when you put your rubbish in your black bin, it doesn't get recycled. It gets put in a hole in the ground called a landfill site. And then we bury it. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a mouldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch! Cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sofia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her Abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sofia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. Bing! The next morning at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore! Let's build a new park! Each of her neighbours had something to say about benches and fountains and places to stay, meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by 1:45 And really what she's doing is she's showing what it is to be an activist, because she's using the power of democracy and talking to people and getting all these ideas, and I wonder what she's going to do with them. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cosy bed. Then, bam! She woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realised each one of her neighbours had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sofia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache, as night thunder growled and she lay wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm, and the gloomy sky wept, and the heart-sick Sofia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sofia got up. He gave her a bagful, and he sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sofia. For courage, he whispered. Ti amo, mi vida. Sofia's knee wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and nearly quite cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sofia Valdez went to face City Hall. And this is the page. It's quite an intimidating building. Intimidating means quite scary. She's there alone, stood at the bottom of the steps leading up to City Hall. And she's going to go in there and she's going to find somebody, hopefully, who can help her make a difference. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do. To the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountain, and Meetings and Bees. Then down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. The word smacked Sofia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could start. Kiboshed means stopped. I think, said Sofia, I think that law's wrong. But her second-grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, clearly it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sofia said, one. If you were me, and if I was you, and he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought, then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak, but her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sofia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack. And that was the moment when Sofia first knew being brave means doing the things you must do, though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. And that's really interesting, isn't it? That, she's really scared, but she's doing something because she knows that she has to do it. She knows it's the right thing to do. And she's going to do it. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sofia started talking. She spelled out her plan on why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and the other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And... "All right," cried the mayor, "go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission." And so young Sofia got right to work with some help from her family and pup and the clerk. "Let's build a park for everyone. Sign our petition, please. Bark for parks." I like that. That's the dog. The others joined in, not all but a few, like Miss Lilligreer and the kids in grade 2. And you can see them all with their signs. All the things. "Get rid of Mountain Trashmore. We need more green. Si puede." I don't know what that means. Spanish. "Scientists need parks. Give bees a chance. Sign our petition, please." There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldoze cranes and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of OF, BY, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at the Citizens' Park. They all hold this truth to be self-evident, that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. And that's a great picture of the park looking amazing. Okay, this is the last page. It's got the dedication on the last page. Normally the dedication is on the front of the book, but in this case it's the back of the book. And it says, "This book is dedicated to you. You are braver than you know and mightier than you can ever imagine. Be bold." It says, a note from the author. Sofia Valdez was inspired by not one person, but many. Some small, some tall, some young, some old. People from every part of the world. Girls, boys, women, men. People who saw a problem and worked to fix it. Even when it was hard, even when it was scary. Some are famous, most are not. They took one small step and then took another, and they inspired other people. Through their journeys, they changed the world. What a great message. And it's true. You know, you might think you're powerless, but you're not. And I think we saw that in the story with Sofia Valdez. So, I know that I've seen lots of these stickers around school, which is great. It's great to see people earning them. The character in this book, she showed respect because it was all about her caring for where she lived and what it was like. But she also showed excellence because she wasn't satisfied with it being just that. You know, this is how it is. She worked hard, tirelessly to make it even better. So I'm hoping to see those 3 stickers. I'm hoping to see people who've got 3. I've seen some people with 2 already, which is great. And I've also started seeing lots of these going out as well, which is fantastic. You're getting your little postcards. We shrunk them down because we think they're cuter. I hope you think so too. Right, I'm going to go. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you around school. Take lots of care. Bye. Bye. Bye.